FIRE stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. Though it's most often associated with retirement, such as retiring by 35, 40 or no later than 50, it's probably more about financial independence than anything else. The basic idea is to create a situation where you have sufficient income from your investments or other passive sources to enable you to quit your job at any time. That doesn't necessarily mean you quit your job, but rather than that, it will give you the option. Many who achieve FIRE continue working, but often in very different occupations than they had early in life. Many others simply use the status to create an easier life that affords more time for personal pursuits, family and travel. Still, others achieve FIRE, take a year or two off to travel the world, then come home and start new ventures. The point is, once you achieve FIRE, all those doors will open to you. The basic idea in achieving FIRE is to live well beneath your means. Save much money as possible, invest it for a high rate of return, then to retire or declare your financial independence once you reach a certain monetary goal. How much money do you need to reach FIRE? The first step in the FIRE process is determining how much money you will need to have in your investment portfolio to become financially independent. This is largely based on the what is known 4% rule. The theory behind the safe withdrawal rate holds that if your portfolio is invested in a mix of stocks and bonds, you will be able to withdraw 4% of the portfolio each year without ever running out of the money. Based on the safe withdrawal rate, you can calculate the needed size of your portfolio to be 25 times your annual cost of living. For example, let's say you need 50,000 per year to sustain the lifestyle you want. Using the safe withdrawal rate of 4%, you multiply 50,000 by 25, giving you 1.25 million. That's how much money you will need in your portfolio to produce the needed 50,000 annual income you will need for retirement. Of course, getting to that portfolio size, you will require a series of strategies. Those strategies will include saving a large percentage of your income each month, then investing it in a rate that will produce the desired portfolio size. Lower your living expenses. For most people, you will need to be able to save between 25 and 50 of your after-tax income to be able to retire in less than, say, 20 years. The exact percentage will depend on how much you will need to reach your goal. Naturally, if you expect to retire in 15 years, the percentage will need to be higher. To do that, you will need to cut your living expenses. More likely, you will have to live in a home that is less expensive than you can afford. You will also need to drive a much less expensive car, and you may need to forego expensive vacations, frequent restaurant meals, and hobby spending. Increase your income. It may be that you don't have sufficient income to save such a large percentage for early retirement. Or you may simply prefer not to cut your living expenses so dramatically. You may even choose to increase your income to enable you to reach your FIRE goal ahead of schedule. You can do that by starting a side hustle to generate additional income. One of the best ways to reach FIRE is to use combination of lowering your living expenses and increasing of your income. If you can reach a point where you can save 50% or more of your after-tax income, you will reach your goal much more quickly. If you are going to reach your FIRE goal, it won't be enough to put your money into a safe bank account, earning 1 or 2% on your money. Or worse, station it under the mattress, earning no money at all. You will need to hold some money in safe income investments, but the majority will need to be invested in stocks. Based on S&P 500, stocks have returned about 10% per year on average, going all over the way back to 1926. That kind of return is the reason why stocks will need to dominate your portfolio. By dedicating up to 50% of income to savings, followers of the FIRE movement may eventually be able to quit their job and live solely of small withdrawals from their portfolios decades before the conventional retirement age of 65. Once their savings reach approximately 25 to 30 times their yearly expenses, often roughly 1 million, they may quit their day jobs or completely retire from any form of employment altogether. Within FIRE movement, there are several styles that dictate the lifestyle. Fat FIRE, for example, an individual with more traditional lifestyle who saves more than the average retirement investor, is mostly referred to a non-frugal version. Lean FIRE refers to minimalist living and extreme savings, having a far more restricted lifestyle with spending much less. Barista FIRE refers to followers who have quit their traditional 9-to-5 job but still employ some form of part-time work to cover current expenses that would otherwise erode the retirement fund. Cost FIRE also applies to followers with a part-time job, but these proponents do have enough saved to fund their retirement and current living expenses. Why spend most of your life at a job you hate, just so you can maybe have enough to quit once you are in your 60s or 70s? Why wouldn't you commit to a relatively short amount of time of extremely frugal living, if it meant you could be free from having to work at all once you build up enough assets to provide the income you need? Some people become obsessed with the idea of FIRE. However, not everybody is willing to go this way. Others decide to make more balanced, less extreme approach to financial independence. FIRE as a strategy assumes that you will cut all your unnecessary spendings, which to many FIRE fans can mean that essentially everything but food, water and minimal appointed shelter. Those extra savings will put you in the position when you can stop working at all, or at least you will not need to go to a job you don't want, especially if you hate it. Keep also in mind, at first reaching financial independence can seem like a solution for unhappiness you have currently: job, home, family. However, the truth can be that you can be the source of your unhappiness yourself. Achieving FIRE as quickly as possible will not solve any problem. But for sure, there is a big difference if you are going to work because of the money you need or because you enjoy working. Financially independent person will not work against his will. Essentially, pursuing FIRE can run you away from something what you can enjoy this moment. More than that, there is a big chance you will still need to do something, as lying on the bed till the end of your life is not your goal as well. Once you get clarity on your values, priorities and goals, you can realize that you don't even want to retire early. Maybe you need to do work you find meaningful and useful. You can assume that the future would somehow be magically better than the present, or you don't think it's a big deal to put the present on hold and to be future oriented. But at some point, most people realize that the basic idea is to enjoy life and to live life.